And if you can hear my voice this evening, I'd like to welcome you to a very special program that does one thing and one thing only. We celebrate love. Welcome to Heartbeat, a program dedicated to all the lovers out there. From the young lovers to the old flames, this is your time. This is your show. This is your forum. This is your hour. On Heartbeat, as always, we like to take a journey down Lover's Lane to dive into love and explore it in all its beauties and complexities. We like to study, to embrace, to grow, and of course, to share and spread the love. So if you're out there this evening and you can hear the sound of my voice, I'd like to welcome you tonight. So, whether you're a heart that's cuddled up with your special someone, that person you call your heartbeat, and you can hear my voice this evening, or maybe you're just a lonely heart looking and seeking for someone special to love, or maybe you're a troubled heart with questions that you can't seem to answer. And it may seem like you're in that dark tunnel in your relationship. If you can hear my voice this evening, I want you to know that we are the light at the end of that tunnel. So sit back, strap yourself in, and let's ride together tonight on the Wings of Love. We're going to go for a musical break, and when we come back, we're going to dive straight into the topic of the day. And of course, as always, we're going to open up the phone lines to you out there for you to call in and to share your thoughts, contribute, and tell us what's ailing you this evening. And let us be that healing ointment, that balm that soothes your savage heart. And as always, my name is Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And once again, I welcome you to Heartbeat. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Public, our team and listeners and viewers on social media platforms of a slash on our advert rates beginning from 1st February to 30th June 2018. This is to allow individuals, business enterprises, corporate organizations, government agencies, non-governmental bodies to reach their various customers and clients at rock bottom affordable costs. Also, religious and faith organizations can use this window to extend their goodwill messages. Remember, this special anniversary rate slash bonanza will last from 1st February to 30th June 2018. For more details, contact Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM at plot 1184, Kaura District, near Games Village, Abuja, or call 08095896193 or 09099920222. You can email us at info@humanrightsradio.org. Hurry and grab this opportunity now. Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting.
It's about that time.
This is Human Rights Radio 101.1. Redefining broadcasting.
Tuned to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, if you can hear the sound of my voice, I want to welcome you to Heartbeat, a special program dedicated to all the lovers out there. On Heartbeat, we try to delve and dive into the subject, that four-letter word subject that's called love. We address everything under the surface of the sun that concerns love, whether it's the good times and the bad times in a relationships, expectations, goals, how to sustain a relationship. These are just some of the things we try to enlighten ourselves on the subject, and also to grow ourselves in our own relationships towards fostering better understanding and communication between partners. And of course, my name still remains Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And in the immortal words of Charlie Chaplin, I'm a tramp, a gentleman, a poet, a dreamer, a lonely fellow, always hopeful of romance and an adventure. Tonight, I want to talk about something that we tend to overlook in our relationships, as we always seem to do. But sometimes we tend to overlook this aspect in our relationship. Now, everybody, whenever we get into a relationship, we always come in with our goals and our ideals. What we want out of the relationship. Sometimes these goals and ideals are even influenced by what we see on TV. You watch something like, if you watch something like Z World or Telemundo or telenovela, any kind of soap opera or drama, you always have that one hero who pledges his undying love to his spouse, who goes through the ups and downs of the relationship, of the drama, of getting with the relationship. They're together, they break apart. There's an evil stepmother somewhere, or some rich man who's trying to frustrate the efforts of these two young lovers. And in the end, all prevails. They get together and we all live happily ever after. But sometimes I always wonder, what happens in happily ever after? What next? How does that relationship sustain itself? What combines these people? Once that spark and that trouble is gone, how do these people remain and sustain that love and relationship? Because in reality, we all know love and relationships, they don't always sail through. It's not always calm seas. Like my father will say, it is tough sailors. It's tough seas that make good sailors. And relationships are the same way. They don't just sail through. You just sail off into the moonlight or sail off into the sunset, and everything is, we all live happily ever after. What happens in happily ever after? How is happily ever after maintained? What are your expectations when you're getting into this relationship? Because love doesn't always sustain a relationship. Love cannot sustain a long lasting relationship. At some point, friendship has to come in, sacrifice, compromise. These are things that build the solid foundation of a relationship. So this evening, I want to talk about relationship goals, realistic expectations, and even unrealistic expectations that people tend to have in our relationships. Now, I'm just going to try and touch on it as much as I can. This subject is actually quite a big subject. I may not go all the way. Maybe I'll split it, and then maybe tomorrow we take the second part, or I'll see as much as I can cover, and maybe who knows. But let me just use tonight, because I was inspired by this topic by a conversation I was having with someone earlier, and she was talking about her relationship and how her boyfriend didn't seem to be meeting up with the things that of course he promised he would be able to do, or and then while talking to her, I asked her, what did you expect? What did you think? What was it? Oh, he said he was going to love me forever. He was going to call me every day. He used to, and now he doesn't. And it's like he's changed. And the thought crossed my mind. And I asked her this question: do you realize that your boyfriend is just a human being? And in fact, what even came up was, oh, but you see all these people, why? I think the reason why this came to my mind was, what she said was, why can't my boyfriend be like one of those telenovela stars? And I burst out laughing. I said, what do you mean? And she's like, why can't he be like those Alejandros or those Pradias, or I don't know, fun, all these like De Los Santos and all those guys who they're walking around oiled and half shirted and all muscled and glistening, and they're talking about, oh Maria, I will love you forever. You have my heart, Maria. No matter what happens, I will always be here for you, Maria. But in reality, to be fully realistic, love and life doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like a telenovela. And you see these things on social media, you see these things on TV, and they kind of permeate that idea of what love should be. We see it in Nollywood, we see it in Hollywood, we see it in mainstream media. It gives you this stylized idea of what a relationship is. You wake up in the morning, there's breakfast in bed, you have a rose there in the cup or glass, your man is up, he's cooking you breakfast, or you have your wife there and she's up and she's taking, and good night honey, she gives you a good night kiss, you take the kids to school. It's a picturesque idea which truly does not exist, because there are some days you wake up, you look at that person and you just want to punch that person in the face. Maybe that person just farted in bed, or didn't brush their teeth that day, or maybe Junior didn't do the homework and now you're running late, the car is we get these warped ideas of what love and a relationship should be like. You see, we all wish to have relationships that are tailor-made to our liking. We all know of people who spend their lives seeking that perfect someone who can meet their expectations in their relationships. In fact, we even pick up on so many unrealistic expectations from, of course, romantic movies, from TV shows. These things, they convince us that those are what we deserve in our relationships. But the truth is, no relationship is perfect. Just as we are not perfect beings, no relationship is perfect. But we can, however, make our relationships more fulfilling and even more exciting. But that takes work. Putting in the time, putting in the work, it's a daily struggle. It's not something that happens. It's something you actively work towards. It's like owning a garden. You plant a seed in the pot. If you leave it, it'll die. But if you have to water it, you have to tend to it, you add the manure, you put it in sunlight so it can grow, you nurture it. That's what you do with your relationships. You see, a good relationship requires effort, hard work, and dedication from not just one party, from both parties. I say it again, from both parties, because you hear this sometimes where, oh, is she not the woman? It's her job to take care, or she's the one that's supposed to be romantic and mushy and take care of the relationship. Or you hear, oh, is he not the man? He's the head of the home. He's the person that's supposed to be the romantic one. Or sometimes, like, one thing I hate when I hear, I'm not a romantic person. What do you mean you're not? You hear somebody say, you know, I'm not a romantic person. So therefore, it's your partner's job to be the romantic one, while you're what? A stone cold fish. You want to experience love, you want to feel tenderness, but you cannot deliver or exhibit or show that same love and tenderness. It's ridiculous. You see, unrealistic expectations for relationship often cause unpleasantness. They cause arguments, even chaos in your relationships. So, you know, like I was saying, I think tonight I'm just going to break down. Maybe I'll just focus on unrealistic expectations or unrealistic relationship expectations. Maybe that's what I'll focus on tonight. Maybe tomorrow I'll take on what we should expect, realistic things. You see, I'm going to mention just a few unrealistic relationship expectations that, of course, we all should avoid if we want to live happy with our partners. If we want to have long, fulfilling relationships with our partners, then we need to let go of some of these unrealistic expectations. The first one I'm going to talk about is, of course, they will never notice anyone else. What do I mean by this? Now, I think this is more focused to ladies. Ladies, you see, just because you're in a relationship, or you and your partner are in a relationship with you, your man is in a relationship with you, your woman is in a relationship with you, let me just generalize it. It doesn't mean that your partner will not look at other people. I say this again. Just because you're in a relationship with your partner, it doesn't mean that your partner will not look, L-O-O-K, look at other people. You see, the truth is, like I said, we're all humans. We're all human beings. And of course, we're going to be noticing other people along the way. That doesn't mean that your partner is being unfaithful to you just because you see something. If you see a beautiful woman, you acknowledge, wow, that lady's pretty. Doesn't mean that that person is sleeping with that. He's being unfaithful. We tend to get this idea in our heads that, oh, because we're now in a relationship, your eyes are automatically blind. You don't see anything else. And ladies, this also goes vice versa for you. Just because men, you're dating this woman or you're married to this woman, doesn't mean that she cannot see and acknowledge a handsome looking man. It's only natural. We're human beings. We are attracted by what we see. That's how our eyes work. It doesn't mean that you're being unfaithful to you. It just simply means that they enjoy looking at different people too. I know this may sound controversial, but that's my job. My job is to be here for you and give it to you as real and as straightforward and as honest as I can. You see, getting upset over this is only going to affect your relationship. And it shows that you don't trust your partner enough, that you don't have faith in them. See, you have to remember this. You can't make someone stay with you if they intend to leave. I don't know if that makes any sense, but let me say that again. You can't make someone stay with you if they intend to leave. If somebody is planning on leaving, if they're ready to go, there's nothing you're going to do. But you can identify and you can definitely do your part to be the best partner to your significant other. You can only work on yourself and be the best of yourself for your partner. So instead of getting upset over them looking around or looking, you can learn to appreciate looking at what they are noticing. Maybe even acknowledge the beauty of that other person. Wow, that girl is fine. Isn't she fine? Why not? Get in on it. Don't vilify them for looking. Second point. Your partner will not always be romantic. What do I mean by this? I think it's self-explanatory, but let me get into this. You see, while romance feels lovely and wonderful, you have to understand that your partner, of course, has other obligations in their life too, just as you do. They have so many things to handle and take care of apart from making you happy. You see, unless you aim to date a person who you're not, or let's be genuine, who you're not there for, of course there are limits. There are limits to what that person can do for you consistently to please you. So expecting your partner to be romantic at all times is going to wear them down eventually. You see, as they get tired of always having to do certain things to please you, to make you happy, to uplift you, it wears them down and also brings in animosity. You see, there are many gestures. There are many, many gestures that show love and appreciation. It's not about taking you out or taking you out to that fancy restaurant or buying you that expensive gift or doing these little things. Learn to appreciate the little gestures. This will help you see the true beauty of your relationship. It is the little gestures that carry on. Those are the things that bridge, those little romantic gestures, not the big sweeping ones, the little ones, the little things every day. And appreciate, show love and show that appreciation. It keeps the romance alive. It's a realistic expectation. My third point. Your partner will always do everything to support everything you do. That's an unrealistic expectation. You know why? Because we all have different values that we hold onto our lives, that we cherish and that are truly and dear to us. So there's no way everything you do will be 100% supported. Your actions and decisions will not always be supported by your partner. No matter what, I'm standing. No, your partner is different from you, sees things differently. So definitely there's going to be loggerheads and conflict points. That's the point. You have to understand that expecting them to support everything you do is not only unfair to them. Conflict is what breeds healthy relationships because you're both two very different people. There's going to be conflict. You're going to not agree on everything. The important thing is to respect each other's points of views and try and understand where each other are coming from. That's a realistic goal or realistic expectation from your relationship. If you think you're not going to argue, you will argue. If you think you're not going to fight, you will fight. Even with your own best friends, even with your own colleagues, you're going to argue with them. You're not going to always see eye to eye. So to expect your partner not to see things with you on the same page or the same wavelength, not possible. There's always beauty in our diversity. in life nothing goes smoothly. So if you think your relationship is going to be like that fairy tale, the fantasy tale, and we all live happily ever after, you're wrong. There will be times of difficulty and times of challenges, things that will put a huge strain, both physically and mentally, on your relationship. You see, like I said in the beginning, every relationship requires a lot of work and can sometimes make you feel miserable. These challenges will not happen all the time, but they will happen at some point. And it's best if you acknowledge this fact and expect, of course, these difficult times to come. That's what makes the good times more relatable and even sweeter. Knowing that you can go through the hard times together and still stand together, supporting one another to enjoy the good times together. Of course, we must be realistic in the way we approach our relationships and what we expect out of relationships for them to grow and then to move forward. It's only when we have our realistic expectations tailor-made for our relationships that we can have healthy, happy relationships. But when you charge your partner or you place on your partner unrealistic expectations that you see from maybe social media, maybe from a movie, from a book, those romantic novels, you expect these things, that is a relationship killer. So what are your expectations in your relationship? Why don't you go back, realign them, weigh them against unrealistic expectations and goals, and eradicate them, and you'll see that your relationship will be smoother. We're going to take a short break. Of course, when we come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines to you out there for you to call in and share your thoughts. This, of course, still remains Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and this is Heartbeat. We'll be right back.
Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. The bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. But dreams come slow and they go so fast. You see it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies. But you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. 'Cause love comes slow and it goes so fast. Will you see her when you fall asleep, but never to touch and never to keep? 'Cause you loved her too much and you dive too deep. Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.